Sesifikile mbukeli nohlelo olithanda kakhulu. Welcome to this week's installment of Yilungelo Lakho, uhlelo phela olunilethela izindaba kanye nezixwayiso ezithinta nina bathengi namalungelo enu. Ukhumbule phela ukuthi emva kwethuba I'll open up the lines nikwazi phela ukuthi nixhumane nathi la e-studio. Inombolo zethu 011-714-6918, alternatively 714-6919. Sikhona futhi on consumer@sabc.co.za. Siyatholakala futhi ku Facebook and Twitter. Asihlale phezu kwendaba yethu namhlanje. Bukeli kubheda kakhulu njengoba isikhathi somnotho nemali sesithanda ukuba phela nzima. Abathengi abaningi sebebona kungcono ukuthi bazifunele izinto ezibiza amanani aphansi. Lokhu ke yikho mhlawumbe osekwenze ukuthi sibone ukwanda kwezitolo zempahla esisetshenzisiwe phecelezi amasekeni noma ke ama-pawn shops kanye nama-online traders eningizimu Afrika yonke. Kodwa kwabochwepheshe basixwayisa ngokuthi sethi sisaphithizela siphuthuma sijahana nalamanani aphansi, asiqaphele uma sithenga izimpahla zamasekeni. Manje ke mbukeli ukhuluma abanzi phela ngobungozi ongabuthola ngokuthenga phela izimpahla zamasekeni ongawazi neze umlando wazo. Masamukele uCaptain Johannes Sebotela omele amaphoyisa iSouth African Police Services. Sinayo no Professor Caesar Grace Leung obuya kwi-University of Johannesburg. Lady and gent, what a pleasure. Good afternoon to both of you. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
All right. Firstly, let's get to know you a little bit more. Grace, let's start with you. Maybe tell us a bit about your division and particularly what you're looking at in terms of today's subject and second-hand goods at UJ.
Right, so I'm actually a lecturer at the University of Johannesburg, specifically the Academy of Computer Science and Software Engineering. We do offer courses, short learning programs where we teach people who are already in industry to upskill them in terms of cybersecurity.
Ah, awesome stuff. So you'll be talking to us about the cyber side of those second-hand goods and so forth. All right, Captain, sakwamukela nsizosichazele kabanzi nini ukuthi le division yeni siyazi ukuthi engathi inini enikeza abantu ama-license ukuthi badayise lezi impahla lezi sezamasekeni. Ngabe kuyiqiniso lokho?
Yeah, that's true, Alicia. That's true. I'm Captain Sebetola. I'm working at Provincial Flesh, which is called Firearm Liquor and Second-Hand Goods. But actually, I'm a coordinator of second-hand goods all over the province. Concerning with the division of second-hand goods only.
Okay, so let's talk about these second-hand goods, Grace. I mean, we've seen the industry flooded with these pawn shops and, of course, trading stores because of the tough economic times that we're facing. But is it such a good idea to go that route?
Well, in terms of your wallet, it's actually a great idea because you can't really afford the newest and latest and greatest items. In fact, if you think about Apple, for example, they've started selling second-hand versions of the phones, but they obviously clean it up and then they repackage it and then they sell it to you and then they call those the certified previously owned phones. So there is a market for it and it actually does work out to be cheaper for the consumer. Unfortunately, there is a dark side to it sometimes. So what happens is if it doesn't go right, so if they didn't do a good job of cleaning up the phone before they sell it to you again, you could end up with a phone that has malware that was installed previously from the previous user. So when I talk about malware, I'm talking about malicious software that might be there potentially giving your personal information to some
others,
criminals. Yes.
Oh my goodness, and that is so dangerous. I don't even think people actually think about that before they buy these used goods. Captain, osichazele kabanzi. I mean, mesikhuluma ngalama used goods, osichazele ukuthi mhlambe khona abantu bezo understand emakhaya sichazani sisho imoto, indlu mhlambe yafola under used goods.
No, house is not falling under second-hand goods.
Yeah,
no, the only thing that falls under second-hand goods is like a used motor vehicles. For example, say cell phone shops. There is a cell phone shops where they are selling the used cell phones. We call it shops? In furniture shops. There is other people who are selling used furnitures. They sell it to the community.
Okay, let's talk about now your job, Captain. Kade usichazela la ukuthi inina kahle kahle enikeza ama license. Osichazela ukuthi leyo process isebenza kanjani. Let's say ngifuna ukuvula i-pawn shop or i-second hand shop somewhere. Yini inyathelo ekumele ngilandele? Kumele ngiqale kunina ngifike ngiphetheni.
Mao is also apply for second hand goods. First thing, you must have a South African ID. If you are a non-South African ID, you must have a permanent resident here in South Africa. Before that, if you don't have a permanent resident, it seems you are disqualified. So when you come to make an application, you must have a South African ID. The other thing is a CC or CK, close corporate. And you must have a bank statement.
Okay.
After a bank statement, you must have also the lease of agreement, and you must have a floor plan of the place where you're going to open.
To be trading those goods.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you arrive at the police station, they must take you the fingerprint, and the fingerprint for second-hand goods is free of charge.
Okay.
You don't pay anything. It's not the same like when you want to do the clearance.
Okay. Mauti CK, Captain, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the registration number that one would go and register a company for? Itholakala phi lo CK?
No, CK, if you want to get a CK, you must go to a South African Trade of Industry.
Okay, so kumele bayithole before beza kunina bezocela i-permission. Kahle kahle nina yini le nsuku esenimnikeza yona umuntu i-permission to trade or inibiza ngaleso sivumelwane enimnika sona nina as i-SAPS?
No, the thing that after the DSO, the person who's dealing with the application, you must go and verify the address.
Okay.
The address of where you are going to open a business. After verifying is where they're going to issue, they're going to recommend, and after that they're going to issue a certificate. The certificate is from the police.
And how long is this whole process, maybe, Captain?
No, it's not long.
It's not too long, as long as you have all your documents
as long
there.
as you've got the supporting documents there, 10 working days.
Okay.
Only 10 working days.
And is it guaranteed that you're going to be approved as a trader?
No, it depends.
It depends on what, Captain?
It depends on the supporting documents.
Okay.
If you've got a criminal record, I don't think you're going to get it.
Okay, Captain, let's leave it there and talk to the professor. Professor, let's get back to this. I mean, the captain is talking about the whole process of registering, and it seems like, I want to find out from research, does it seem like this industry is actually effectively and properly regulated?
Well, I'm not familiar with how the pawn shops work, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really tried myself to take my old phones. I think I asked some of my students as well, and I asked them, what do you do with your old phones? And the #1 answer is actually it's hiding somewhere in some drawer at home, because they're all afraid that, you know, if they don't wipe it properly, it's going to end up with their personal information on somebody else's, someone else's property.
You're sitting with a new phone and somebody's texting you like they've known you as old friends. Thank you, Professor. We'll leave it there for now. Mbukeli, asithathe ikhefu kwamanje. We're coming back shortly after this. Siqhubeke ngokukhuluma ukuthi yini ekumele uyixwaye uma wena uthenga lezi zinto ezibizwa amasekeni. Yilungelo lakho is back shortly after this. Mbukeli, welcome back. Sixoxa ngokuthi iziphi izinto ekumele uyixwaye ngoba phela isimo somnotho asasezivumeli neze ukuthi sihambe siyothenga izimpahla zikanokusho. Sekuba ngcono ngempela ukuthi uyihambele lapho uyoyithengela izinto kwi-second hand shop. Ngihlalelana nokapteni kanye noprofessor. Basichazela ke bona ukuthi izini izinto ekumele nje uyigade or uzazi ngaphambi kokuthi uthenge that second hand good. All right, let's understand the risks involved. Maybe Grace, take us through some of those risks that people omit to actually look at.
Okay, so what happens is, let's say you now don't want this phone of yours anymore. You've got a nice new phone, so you want to get rid of this one. So what you normally do is you would perhaps be smart enough to realize, well, there's my personal information on here, so I'm going to do a factory reset, because there's an option on your phone that says you can do a factory reset on the phone. Now, not everyone remembers to do that. So they think they've deleted all their perhaps very, very private photographs. They've deleted their contacts, and they've deleted the apps that might have been installed on the phone.
Yeah.
And then they just take it to the pawn shop or the second-hand shop, and they say, well, this is my phone, here's the cable, everything, and they receive money for it. What they forget is that there's still their personal information on there. But depending on what personal information is on that phone, someone else who now buys it, if, let's say, it's someone completely innocent, they pick up this phone and go, oh man, just this person forgot. So I'm just going to have to wipe the phone. Now that's the positive side of the story. The more risky version of the story is, let's say this person goes, ooh, now I've got all this personal information. I can take this personal information and perhaps, depending on what it is, use it to open an account in the previous owner's name. So the thing is, you need to do a factory reset. Let's say you do remember to do.
So for all electronic devices
Yes.
is what we're talking about here,
Yeah.
Professor.
So yes, your laptop, for example, if there's any information on the hard drive, you need to do a format.
Even empty your dustbin as well. You have
Yes.
to empty that as well.
Yes.
People don't ever think about that.
Yes, so there's that problem. But with the cell phone, you see, one thing that people perhaps forget is that on certain cell phones, there may be a little SD card that is used to store
all your memory,
all the other additional information. So you might do a factory reset, but you forget the card is in the phone, and then you leave that card in the phone when you sell it, and then whoever else
But
gets
Grace,
it there.
whose responsibility is that? Is that the consumer that is taking the phone or the device to the pawn shop, or is it the pawn shop's responsibility because they are the ones that are selling it to me? When I find it at a pawn shop or at a second-hand store, it's no longer sold by me as an individual. So the onus rests with who?
Well, the owner of the pawn shop might just be responsible for taking in the device and then just selling it to somebody. They might not even understand the value or the features of the phone, because there's so many phones out there. You know, they say every week there's actually new models of phones, and I'm not talking about the Huawei or the Samsungs. We're talking about the lesser-known brands.
Yeah.
So there's always new phone models. So you never know, as a pawn shop owner or second-hand shop owner coming in, what is this model of a phone and what features does it have. So it's not really your responsible. It should be really the responsible of the person who used to own it to realize, well, I've been using this phone for, say, 2 years. I should know what features are on the phone. So it is my responsibility to get rid of any data that is on the phone that is personal information. Because if you don't want that information, like you said, with the dustbin, if you don't want someone to go through your dustbin and get all this data, then you must shred it. It's your responsibility to shred it.
Absolutely. You know, Captain, I guess khulume ngalento mhlawumbe abanye abantu abaningi la aba understand ukuthi main issue isha mhlawumbe le license kuma pawn shop ibizwani mhlawumbe le license, and how different is it from umuntu othengisa impahla like normal goods?
No, when you are having a pawn shop, the certificate for the pawn shop is the same like the one of cell phone shops.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay.
We are using the same certificate.
And ilokhuzana Consumer Protection Act isasho ukuthi kumele balandele umkhango wakhona.
Yes, I just heard the professor, he said when you take a cell phone to the pawn shop, before you take the cell phone to the pawn shop, you must have the copy of your ID.
Okay.
So that the owner of the pawn shop, if he is going to buy that cell phone, for the sake of the police to do the investigation, you must have the copy of the ID or a driver's license.
Okay.
So that if the police, they are busy doing the investigation, if somebody was robbed the cell phone, so before you can sell it, you must keep it for the period of 7 days in your register, and you must write it down.
Okay, as umuntu odayisa lezi impahla. So let's say uAlisha uza ne fax la, uzomele wena uhlale nayo ngiletha kuwena as umuntu odayisa ama second hand goods. Kuzomela ihlale kuwena for 7 days check ukuthi ayintshontshiwe yini
before you can sell it.
Okay, and how rampant is this? How rampant is this practice, Captain? Baya check yini labantu abama pawn shop ukuthi lezi zinto abayithenga actually not stolen goods?
No, they don't check.
They don't check.
They don't check.
So when I was kanjani ukuthi muthenga into pawn shop uthenga into engazange izintshontsho?
No, you can't know.
You can't
know just because the only thing that immediately when you buy it, you never know that this one is stolen.
Okay.
The day the police, they can catch you is where they're gonna see that.
Kanti la 7 days captain leyo ukuthi umuntu melethe impahla kumele iqale ihlale kwena 7 days ziverify ukuthi ayintshontshiwe.
For the police to do their investigation, that you find that the prof, somebody they hijack, they rob a prof a cell phone.
Okay.
So they take it to the pawn shop so that they can get money. So if the prof, she went to the police station and opened a case. So when the police they are doing a routine check, they're visiting all the pawn shops. When they can go there by the pawn shop and they find that cell phone, they're gonna ask the person, the owner of the pawn shop, where did you get this? It's where the owner of the pawn shop is where he's gonna produce the IDs. And then I bought this thing to Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so.
Okay.
From there, the police, if it is stolen, the police, they're going to tell the owner of the pawn shop that, nah, just keep it aside, don't sell it.
Okay.
But we're still busy with the investigation. It's where the police, they're going to take the photo, the ID copy.
Hold that thought, Captain, because ngifuna ukuzwa ngempela ukuthi mase kwenziwe investigation bukele kwenzakalani engathi kuyenzeka la kuba khona nomsebenzi okhona kuba nama investigation ake sathi ikhefu siyabuya sichazele kabanzi ngokuthi yizini izinto ekumele uyiqwaye before uthenga izinto ezibizwa amasekeni. Bukele sikhuluma ngokuthi yini ekumele uyixwaye uma phela uthenga izinto ezamasekeni sishoke impahla yefurniture noma impahla yokugqoka noma ama cellphone noma nje izinto ezama gadgets. Ngihlelelana no captain ovela emaphoyiseni kanye no professor ovela eUJ basichazela kabanzi ngazo lezo zinto. Usungasithinta ke wena ku 0117146918 or 7146919. Email address is consumer@sabc.co.za. Siyatholakala futhi ku Facebook na ku Twitter. All right, so before siya caffeine captain ubungichazela ngeinvestigation ukuthi metholakala ukuthi lo pawn shop owner usebeke izinto ezintshontshiwe nenza investigation osichazela ukuthi lo investigation ihamba kanjani.
When coming to the investigation, if you go to the pawn shop owner, you'll find that he's got something that is stolen. So the only thing that we have to do is just ask him, where did we got this stuff? So he must produce the copy of the ID of the person who brought the stuff there by him. Is where the police, they're going to do the investigation. They're going to tell the owner of the pawn shop that you mustn't sell this stuff until we are finished with our investigation.
Okay. All right. And then amalokhuzana captain mhlambe men issue isha lawo ama license la ukuthi umuntu akwazi ukuthi athengise lama second hand goods. Yini mhlambe imithetho or imigomo enimnika yona ukuthi nansi imigomo ekumele uyilandele as umuntu othengisa impahla zamasekeni?
No, we don't give him anything.
No regulations, no rules, nothing.
You can't run a business without the knowledge. You must have the knowledge. Especially if you are opening a business, you must know how to run a business. Okay, so
animnigi nina like a legal framework ukuthi as an operator, this is why we're giving you this license as the SAPS. Sifuna ulandele imithetho kanje. Failing which sizokuphuca leyo license. Ngifuna ukwazi ngaleyo mgomo leyo. Anibeke imgomo.
You must know the act. We tell you that now you must go to the internet.
Okay.
To
do your own research.
To download the act. So that you must know the act. You can't run the business without knowing how to run the business.
Let's talk about other unknown risks and factors when dealing particularly with gadgets and technological gadgets and cybercrime, Professor.
Well, the one thing I could mention specifically in the light of stolen goods is that nowadays, you can actually activate a feature on your smartphone or your devices where you can track where your device is.
Yes, that's
now,
true.
I've actually read and heard of a few friends who had their devices stolen out of their cars or in a smash and grab incident, and then they go to the police, but then sometimes they get a little vigilante-like, I don't know, maybe too much TV. Yeah. So what happens is they keep regularly checking, where's my device now, where's my device now, and then they find the address of where the device is, and instead of going to the police, they go and confront these people. That is just so dangerous. I would say that is a terrible risk.
That is very, very dangerous indeed. And then what are some of the most common cases that you've dealt with or have come across in terms of your line of work, Professor?
Well, normally I've had a situation where we get a lot of phone calls from people who phone in and they're not sure if they've been a victim of a scam. So they perhaps see a listing on Bid or Buy or any of the other online stores, and they see, oh, there was this nice device, or they are selling a device. And what happens is a person makes an offer for it, and then they go, all right, we'll pay you even. What we will do is we will just give me your banking details. We will deposit the money into your bank account. And what they do is then they falsify an SMS that looks like it comes from the bank that you bank with. Say you're with ABSA, right?
Yes.
And then what I do know is because you've given me your bank details, I know that you're with ABSA Bank. So then let's say I am supposed to pay you 1,000 Rand. So I then fake an SMS that sounds like it's from ABSA. It says, you have now got 1,000 Rand deposited into your account. And so you think, oh, you've been paid. The money is in your account. So then you then release the goods to me. And then you never hear from me again because you never got the money.
Oh, my word. Let's talk about that. I mean, let's expand on that. There's also online trading where people actually use cyber payments to actually pay for those goods that they buy online. Yes. Let's talk about the risk inherent here.
Okay, so what happens is there is that possibility that people will fake the notifications to you, or they, I know this is a bit old now because most people don't accept checks anymore, but they say, oh, we deposited a check in your account. I know in one incident, a lady phoned us and said that she wanted to buy a car, and then they said, okay, we'll give you the car, but we just want a deposit first because obviously, you know, I'm not going to give you a car if you don't give me a deposit.
Absolutely.
So the lady paid up a deposit into an account, and then she kept phoning and was like, okay, but where's my car? And then there's always excuses. It's like, oh no, I don't have enough petrol. You need to pay me the money first. Or, oh, there's an issue. My mom has an accident. I need to deal with her first. And then there's just these delaying tactics until eventually you realize you're not going to ever get your car. I think the captain would be very experienced with incidents similar to that.
Captain, awusichazele kabanzi awuxoxe lapho Peter ngizoza kuwena insizwa khona manje awuqhubeke fast Captain.
Concerning
Njengoba esho nje ukuthi bake babe nendaba where uthola ukuthi umuntu uthenge imoto online and then uthola ukuthi kuthiwa no ufaka i-deposit iqala angakhona yena ukuthi umuntu alethe lelo cala kunini ukuthi uthola ukuthi sebeyidlile i-deposit idollar imoto.
As long as she's got a proof of the payment,
okay,
is where the investigation is going to go on.
Okay, so
without proof, the police, they can't do anything.
Is there any hope with leyo mali yokuyithola kodwa Captain? You don't
How are you going to get it?
Convincing kodwa Captain.
No.
All right. Peter, Mamelodi insizwa ngiyabonga ukuthi ubambe ocingweni umbuzo noma umbone.
Yeah.
Kunjani baba?
Siyaphila mama kunjani?
Siyaphila insizwa qhubeka nombuzo noma umbone.
Yeah. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi nginomngani wami omunye osala athenga ikoloyi egarage.
Okay.
So then athi uthenga ikoloyi and then ahamba ngayo like 4 months.
Okay, uyithenge ephi le koloyi baba?
Uyithenge kwenye igarage.
Oh, kwi second hand shop, okay.
Yeah, second hand shop. So manje and then isikhathi asichubeka after 4 months amaphoyisa then beza kuye bamtshela bathi ikoloyi le itshontshiwe. So manje ukhosta ukuthi usele ngemuva nayo and then sihambe siye police station and then seyindaba ukuthi wena usho ukuthi ikoloyi le nto khosi usichazele ukuthi wena wayithola kanjani.
Yebo kugcina kwenzakaleni ke nsizwa.
And then manje ekugcineni umngane wami ugcina lusikoloyi ugcina lusimali yakhe. So manje ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi yini into ekhosta ukuthi isikhombise ukuthi lama business ama second hand avumelekile ukuthi athengise lezi zinto and then mina njengomthengi ngisafe kanganganani ukuthi angicede ukuthenga le angeke ngizokufana nomnganami kusasa.
Yazi but Peter siyabonga kakhulu. Yazi kade ngiyibuza iCaptain lo mbuzo. Captain uyezwa la inkinga. Basically Professor he says that his friend bought a car from a second-hand dealership, and then after 4 months the guy was stopped by cops, and they told him that this car is actually stolen. Bring the car in, you're not going to drive it up until we are certain where you actually bought the car. And he's lost his money and his car. All right, we're going to hold it there now. We're going to come back with those reactions shortly after this break. Mbukela siphuthume futhi siye ku commercial break. Hey, unganyakazi abuya khona manje nempendulo. You're watching Yilungelo Lakho live la kumamba phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Alishu Nhlanhlo akajala uhleli nani, and I'm sitting with my two guests here, Professor Grace as well as uCaptain. Bahleli lana ke basichazela kabanzi ngokuthi iziphi ixwayo kumele uzazi before uthenga izinto zama-second. Before ikhefu sikhulume nensizwa la uBudpit uthi yena uthenga ikoloyi kwase kuba nenkinga ngoba phela umngane wakhe emethenga lo koloyi umiswa amaphoyisa after 4 months amtshela ukuthi le koloyi intshontshiwe. So I was explaining to Professor Grace before we went to the ad break, but Captain, this is obviously for you. Do you get cases anje quite often when it comes to second-hand goods, particularly e-mod?
Yes, we did find a lot. The only thing, the police, they were supposed to ask that particular person, where did you buy the car?
Yeah.
So that they can go with him to that dealer shop.
To the dealership, yeah.
To the dealership, so that they must do the investigation. If they found out that car is stolen, they're supposed to arrest the owner of the dealership.
Okay.
Not that person.
Okay. And they're supposed to refund that.
And they're supposed to refund that Peter's friend.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So Peter angenza njani ke because uyena ofonele on behalf of umngani wakhe. Bangenza njani because uthi at this stage kwayiwa kwi dealership kwenziwa ini, but as we speak imoto ikolo ihleli lapha emaphoyiseni and imali isidliwe ulokhuzana umngani kaPeter kanamoto Captain.
No, the only thing, he must go to the nearest police station where he stays, so that he must go with the papers, the papers of the car, so that the police, they must check whether the car is stolen or it's not stolen.
Okay.
If they find that the engine number or the chassis number of the motor vehicle is the same like the paper, the one that is written on the paper, is where the police, they must go to the dealership and arrest that particular dealership. And the dealership must refund that Peter's friend's money.
But you know, he's asking here why, as a consumer, was there no signage or any warning for him to not buy that car as it was stolen? He just went into a dealership. He says, why should it be the job of the consumer and not the police or the dealership?
No, that one is difficult. The only thing, the dealership, they are the one that is supposed to know that if they bought a car from somebody so that they can make to sell it, they must check whether the car is stolen or is not stolen before they can sell it to that particular person.
But then, Captain, uyithengile imoto bengazi ukuthi intshontshiwe. And whose problem is that? Ngisho ukuthi umsebenzi kumele kubo kabani, kumele kwenziweni as if mina ngizobe consumer ngiphume ngihambe ngithi ngiyothenga, kumele ngenzeni yini engayenza ukuthi ngivikele ukuthi ke ngingathengi impahla ezintshontshiwe. How can I verify ukuthi izinto intshontshiwe, particularly things like imoto, before ngiyithenga, Captain?
No.
Is there a way yokuthi ngicheck ukuthi le moto intshontshiwe? Can I go to i-dealer ngifike ngicela amaphepha kuleyo dealership ngithi ngisaye police station, I'm going to go quickly verify if this car was not stolen and then come back to the dealership?
Yes, we've got the rights.
Okay.
You've got the right to go to take the number plate and the engine number and go to the police station.
Okay.
They must check it for you.
So before uthenga ke insizwa lapho Budpit ngicela utshela umngani wakho asakhona ukumsiza manje, but ushila uCaptain wathi akahambe aye police station, the nearest police station, aphathe wonke lawo ma-document. Ngiyazi uthenga imoto unikwa amaphepha angaka, so akathathe lawo maphepha ahamba aye police station avule icala afika achaza ukuthi wathenga imoto kanje kanje, yonke into, bank statements ukuthi imoto ikhokhelwe ayihambise. Phuthuma nsizwa asithatha uMr Mase all the way from the Eastern Cape. Siyabonga baba ukubamba on the line. Umbuzo noma umbona? Mr Mase.
Molo mama njani?
Molo tata, siphilile njani?
Kuhle la kutakhona. Ndingakamanzi Captain xa ithetha. umbuzo wami uthi ke ngokuxa ngaba i-CK awunayo unayo le business bathetha ngayo uthenga izinto ebantwini repair wenza yonke lento le now awunayo i-CK kumele uba wenze kanjani?
Okay, all right ke. Bamba kanjalo Mr. Mase. Ngifuna uCaptain address uyamuza Captain uthi ufuna unayo indawo esebenza ngalezi zinto but iCK akanayo ukuthi eze kunina azoregistera for ilokhuzana license yokuthi operate yini ekumele ayenze ngicela umtshele nango line.
No, ufanele kodwa Department of Trade and Industry.
Mtshele baba, nakubuka lapha kule camera umtshele uMr. Mase.
Mr. Mase ngicela kodwa uye Department of Trade and Industry uye khona lapho uzothola SABC khona.
Okay, kuba into ethatha isikhathi esingakanani mhlambe Captain?
Idinga
imali.
Idinga imali.
Okay, mtshele phela zonke izinto azoyidinga.
Idinga imali. It can take you 1 hour.
Okay, uzodingani?
Udinga ID.
Nemali, uthe nemali, malini le Captain? Wancisha nama details nje Captain. Ufuna ukuregister uMr. Mase.
Mina ngithi angazi ukuthi Department of Trade Industry bathengisa kanjani.
Oh, okay, but I expect ukuthi kuzoba nemali efunwayo.
Yena manje lapha expect ukuthi uzoba le mali.
Okay, so uyazwa ke baba uMase kuthiwa kungenzeka
ithatha 1 hour.
Yeah, uyasho ukuthi mangabe uphethe yonke imfanelo zakhona kumele ngabe ikuthatha kumele uphume nje lapho uyiphethe ngesandla baba. So awuphuthume lapha eDepartment ye Trade and Industry mhlawumbe ubuzeke baba because uyasho uCaptain uthi akekho sure ukuthi ba charge imali engakanani xa usiyapha usuthi wena uyofuna iCK so maybe just find out prior to that uba bazawufuna malini so that ungayipha usuwenza back and forth ubungaphethe zonke izinto maybe find out what it is that they actually need but ndiyeva uba uthi i-documents i-ID nantoni futhi Captain?
No abeligama la ukuthi ufuna uyibiza igama la.
Okay, so igama ne-ID nje nokuthi ufuna ukwenzani nesichazelo Mr. Mase esisho ukuthi kule business lakho uzobe usebenza kanjani and then mesethola iCK uzobe ese-director kunina yini baba?
Yeah, so uzoba ezakithi.
Okay, so after efumana iCK kuzobe seza kunina ke esezofumana i-license as a trader.
No, he's not. We are not guaranteed to give a particular person a license. It depends.
Captain, ngikuzwile usho njalo phela.
But it depends.
Sithi in the eventuality yokuthi impahla zakhe zonke imininingwane yakhe i-right angayithola na.
It depends with the fingerprint.
Okay, Mr. Masubeshile uCaptain la mesiqala uhlela ukuthi kumele ube ne South African ID and kumele I think kumele ungabi ne criminal record and then bazokhona ukuthi bakunikeze lezi zinto. Siyabonga kakhulu uNsizwa for umbuzo wakho right here. Is there anything you want to add, Professor?
Oh, not to this particular process.
All right, so let's talk about this. Could there ever be a direct link that you can say to us, yes, this is the actual link between pawning and cybercrime?
Well, the thing is, cyber criminals are very creative.
Yeah.
So they will, but they also do want to put in minimal effort. Unless they really, really are out to get you. So if they know that they want to target you specifically, then they'll put in more effort. But if it's just a case of casting out a net and just trying to get as many victims as possible.
And when they try and target you specifically, Professor, maybe try and explain to us, what are some of the most common scams that they actually use, like the modus operandi?
Okay, so if they want to target you specifically, let's say they want to get into your emails because they suspect that you've got some very saucy emails that they want to get hold of.
You've won 150,000 rand from a competition
but
you
but
never
that's
entered.
very generic. That's very generic because I mean I think everyone has now been a winner of some competition, whether it's a surf competition or
a US lottery.
Yes. So But let's say they wanted something from you specifically, all right?
Does that mean they actually have some sort of your personal information somewhere? Is that why they're going after you specifically?
Yeah.
Meaning it could be from the phone that you sold at a second-hand shop?
That's possible. So on the one hand, as I say, there's the more generic one where they say, let's just try and get everyone. Okay, but on the other hand, let's say they've got a bit of information about you. They realize that, you've got quite a bit of money in your bank account. We would like to target you specifically. So then a criminal might go, fine, what we'll do is we'll try and do a bit more homework on you because let's say they got the initial information off your phone.
Yes.
But because you're a celebrity. So they will try and look online, maybe look on Facebook, see what your interests.
And it's very easy to connect these things. People don't realize that, Professor. I'm actually glad that you actually pointed that out.
Yes, because let's say you're on Facebook and we notice that you like a lot of comments relating to, let's say you've got some causes that you're interested in.
Leave it there for now. We're going to continue with that. I actually want to pick up immediately on that point, and then Zotatu put Elliot all the way from Pretoria. What's happening after this break? Ayimbukeli sesidonsile mangabe ukhona ufika manje endlini usuphuthelwe okuningi besikhuluma ukuthi izini phela izinto ekumele uyinake mangabe wena uthenga izinto zamaseke njengoba sazi ukuthi isikhathi somnotho asikho kahle neze. Before siye ekhefini uprofessor ubesichazela about something very important. Please continue with your point, Professor.
Yes, so as I said, if I do enough homework on you, I know where your interests lie. I may even know what you're a customer of, so then I can try and fake an email from an alleged organization. Let's say you sponsor, you like donating to the SPCA, right?
Yeah.
I then send an email from the SPCA, pretending to be the SPCA, going, oh, would you please click on this link, and then you click on it, and then you end up perhaps installing malware on your machine, and then I can take control of your computer and get all your information.
My goodness. Wow, Professor, if that does not, shake anybody into making sure that, personal information, I think we had a show about that, personal information and cybercrime, always the biggest links. Let's take up with Elliot all the way from Epitol. It says, "Ngiyakwamukela ehlelweni umbuzo noma umbono."
Sanibonani.
Kunjani sis?
Ngicela ukubuza mina, if mangabe ngithenga iphone like la emandingeni so abakuniki amaphepha wakhona, if le phone le ikunika iproblem uyahamba ke manje uyilisa khona abasafuni ukuthi kubalungisele yona, mangiya epolice station bazongifuna amaphepha, if mangenawo lawo maphepha kumele ngenze njani?
Okay, all right, siyabonga kakhulu but Elliot naye osepitoli angithathe futhi omunye epitoli insizwa but Lucas sakamukela insizwa umbuzo noma umbono.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Lucas. Please go ahead with your question. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Yes, what's your question, sir?
My point was to answer the question where you said who must take the blame between the buyer and the seller of the car.
Who should take the blame, Bab?
The dealership must take the blame. It can be a dealership, it can be a private seller. Whoever sells the car, he has to take the blame because as I'm a buyer, it's also my duty to find out. I have the right to take out the chassis and engine number before I pay for anything. So to find out from the police or from the license department if the car is not stolen or if the car doesn't owe the banks. Sometimes you buy the car, it's still in the name of the bank. They're still going to repossess it from you. So those are the things you must always check it before you pay for any car.
So, Lucas, basically, we both have a responsibility here, not just, the dealership and trusting in the dealership. We also must do our homework as well.
Got the responsibility too.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lucas.
Yeah,
yes.
If we don't come to a settlement, the dealership has to make a refund, but also the buyer must always do that. Be very careful. You don't just buy a used spring without find out the history of that car.
Absolutely. Siyabonga kakhulu but Lucas for that, of course, umbono wakhe insizwa laphaya. Ithi Mbukeli now ne-responsibility as much as idila ukuthi awungeni nje stolo wazi ukuthi uyothenga into ye second hand now uvani uyothatha ungazi ukuthi history yakhona injani. All right, let's talk about Elliot's question. Captain, that one was all for you. He says usually when you buy phones from used street traders that you find, like your foreign traders, if you buy cell phones and things from them, they don't give you papers, they don't even recur your SIM card. So how do you then come and verify at the police station that this is what I bought and this wasn't stolen, if in any eventuality it's actually found to be a stolen good? Captain?
No, cell phone, you can't buy anything without a slip.
No, banje bathi amaphepha kaveli. Bathi kunika thatha.
No, if you can understand, you see, when you come into the issue of the cell phones, it's a very big problem. If I can tell you, the whole of Gauteng province is big problem concerning cell phones, just because those people who are dealing with cell phones, most of them, they are disqualified just because they don't have a permanent resident. But they are trading. In other words, those people, they are trading illegally.
Yes.
Just because they don't have a permanent resident. They never go to the police station and make the application for second-hand goods.
And then when are you going to arrest them, Captain Labantu, that are operating obviously without licenses? When are you going to crack down on them?
You know, those people, they've got information concerning inside job with the police.
Yes.
Because most of the time, if you can go and do the operation, going out and do...
They already know,
They
and
already
they move.
know. Because they know that there is some other cops who are not straightforward. Other cops, they are eating with the criminals.
Absolutely. So that is actually why the crime is actually made rampant.
We can't finish the crime in South Africa.
But then are there any means to deal with the scourge, Captain? Kunama means at least are there still some good cops that are going to go around and conduct searches labantu street traders? Are they operating there legally or not?
Most of the time when I'm doing the operation with the clusters, I advise them that immediately when they find somebody operating without a certificate, they must confiscate everything and book it in the SAP 13.
Okay.
So that particular person, he must come and apply.
Can we as consumers who go and buy from those traders, can we report if we suspect that these people, say for example, like Uput Ellich was saying that he didn't get any papers buying a cell phone off a street trader. Can I then come to the police station and say, look, Captain, I've just bought a phone. They didn't even give me, they didn't even recall my phone. This is the person, she's sitting at Bree. Here's the address. Can I do that?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
And immediately when we go there, we must check in that particular person's register whether that phone is registered in his books.
Okay.
If it's not registered, it seems that that man doesn't comply with the act.
He's actually, okay, so he's actually not compliant with the act and you're going to arrest him.
Yes.
And what's going to happen to his goods in the interim?
We confiscate everything.
Okay, and what's the eventuality? Can he be prosecuted criminally?
Yes.
For how long? Do we know?
When coming to second-hand goods, we start with 5 upwards.
Okay. I hope uzwile lapho. Professor, let's get your closing words from you just before we go. Just tips and useful things that people need to note before engaging in this market.
Well, I think be smart. Look, I think cybercriminals also bank on the fact that we're a bit greedy or we think that we're saving money. So if you see something listed on the internet, selling a second-hand car, for example, or even these informal street traders, the thing is, you can't possibly not know that there's something dodgy about buying from them.
Yes.
And they don't give you the papers like the captain says. So I know you're saving money, but in the long term, it's just going to not work out for you.
All right, thank you so much. That is Professor YC Leung, as well as Captain Johannes Sebotola from the SAPS. Mbugeli kade besinikeza ama-pointers and notes on ukuthi what must you be vigilant on uma uthenga izinto ezamasekeni. Sasiphelelwe isikhathi ke Mbugeli ithi ngibonge ivakashi zethu for their time and knowledge today. Ngithemba ukuthi kuningi futhi nawe okufundile namhlanje. Let me also thank you Mbugeli ngokuthi ubambe iqhaza namhlanje nasifonela nasithinta. USimphiwe Ngcongwane uzobe khona next week Monday. From me uAlisha Nhlanhla wakajali. Have yourself a great afternoon. Bye.
Oh,